Hello, I'm Julia Hartman from the Bantax National Accountants Group, and today I'm coming to you from our Central Coast office in Budgie and I'm joined by Carolyn Richardson, who is the practitioner for our New South Wales Central Coast office. And I'm talking to Carolyn today because she has so much expertise in all the different packages available, and she can lead us through just exactly what we should consider, what you need depending on how much you want to be involved in the process. So thank you for joining us, Carolyn.
Thank you, Julia.
So, Carolyn, what are the basic things that we should be considering when looking at a software package for small business and tradies?
Yes, Julia, that's right. There's a large range of software available at the moment, ranging from $1 a month all the way up to $60 a month. And what a client really needs to work out when they're looking at the different softwares is what their needs are, whether it's invoicing they need, whether they have employees, and how these softwares are then used by their accountants as well for efficiency and to keep costs down for an overall level. So basically then it's really important that they're not paying for anything that they don't need.
But there could be false economies if they go for the cheaper software, because it could end up costing them more in accounting fees. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's correct. So if it's not something that their accountant actually uses, and then they can easily work within their own software programs, say transferring the data over to the accountant's software, then you're not paying an accountant to then double entry that into there. So you do save accounting fees in the long run as well.
Definitely something to discuss with your accountant first. So things are much simpler now than in the old days, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. Gone are the days where you used to have your client have to make an appointment every 3 months to complete their business activity statements and report GST by bringing in receipts and bank statements. A lot of these programs have made things a lot more efficient, and keeping costs down obviously for compliance is very important. So with a lot of the softwares that are the online versions now, or the cloud versions, a lot of those will do, or majority of, will do bank feeds. So the transactions from your bank statements are coming straight down into the software, and all that's really required is the accountant to code them and send you off a list of unknown transactions, or depending on the software that you're using, for the client to go in there and actually fix those transactions themselves, and depending on their involvement, of course. There's also a lot of the softwares have an app, so you've got a phone app that you can use for invoicing and quoting. Quoting you can convert to invoices, and a lot of that are automatically emailed over to their customers. So there's a lot of efficiency involved with all of these different software programs now.
I can see that's helping cash flow in that they can give the invoice right there on the site. In fact, some of these apps even take credit card, don't they?
Some of them take payment on the site, so that can be particularly important if they are doing a lot of invoicing during the day. It can save a lot of efficiency, save a lot of home time and office time when you are at home and you shouldn't be working.
Right. Now this exception report and the coding and that, what you're talking about is not really the, you're not data entering it, it just comes down in the bank statement from online from the bank, you download it, and the exception report is just the unusual transactions, is it?
Yeah, the unknown transactions, so it's transactions that we haven't commonly come across. They're then sent to the client and they can report back to us what they are, and that's as much involvement as they need to do for their GST.
Right, so the computer already knows, oh yeah, that's the normal payment to that, they're a supplier, and off it goes, it works all that out for you.
It memorises them.
Wow, fantastic saving in time. And there is a feature that I do want to point out, is this, I know people aren't really into it yet, but I think it's a fantastic idea, this being able to copy your receipts into your phone and the computer data matching that into your account, so you could just push a button and see that receipt. I mean, to me that's, is it Navarra? Is that the word?
Yeah, a lot of with the phone apps, because a lot of them do have the phone apps now as well, that's linked to the software and the desktop versions or the online versions. What you can then do is use your smartphone and take a photo of that, and that stores it in that cloud with that program.
Wow. So no fading receipt problems.
No fading receipt problems.
So all this means the data's there very frequently, like monthly or quarterly, depending on how often the client wants you to do it, so that they can do their DAS.
Yeah, that's correct. A lot of with the software and the way that they run now, the transactions are automatically bank feeding every time that you log into the software, so it's always there. So if you're doing monthly reporting for BASs or quarterly reporting, but it's not just for GST compliance. You've got up-to-date financials if you want to go for finance, for new plant and equipment, or anything else that you need finance and profit and losses for. You've also got budgeting and cash flow that you can do, and importantly there's tax planning as well, because you've got up-to-date profit and losses that you can discuss it with your client and do a bit of tax planning as the year goes on, not a year after the financial year.
Yes, well that's the way it used to be in the olden days, where by the time you got around to nagging the client, it was a year down the track. So
yeah, that's correct.
That's going to help businesses a lot. Please don't be overwhelmed. This is wonderful news. It means now that you can streamline your accounting responsibilities, get up-to-date information, and manage your business so much better. Just speak with your accountant and get the package that suits you best and suits your accountant best. And I'm sure that you will, once you've got around it initially, you'll be so glad you did. And thank you again for all your helpful advice, Carolyn.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you for staying to the end, and I hope you make use of much of the other material we have for small businesses and tradies on our website.